Today we're talking about the Spitfire Audio Originals Jangle Box piano. So, this piano is pretty unique in the sense that it might not just create one sound, but I don't want to give that away yet till we get further into the video. And it might also be a real piano that exists out in the real world in a very famous studio. And this may have been actually sampled for this particular plugin in this famous studio out in the real world. So if you guys want to learn more about that and hear two pieces that I wrote for this piano, stick around after this introduction.
Imagine softly.
Welcome everybody, I'm Dan Spencer and I am the Audio Sorcerer. So this is the channel where I teach you how to perfect your audio recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So before we get to the video, make sure you guys smash that like button. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So without further ado, today we're talking about the new Spitfire Audio Originals Jangle Box piano. So this piano is an actual real piano that exists in Studio 2 at Abbey Road Studios. And to make this plugin, they actually sampled it at Abbey Road Studios. And the thing that's kind of cool about this piano is that not only does it have two different characteristics, but it was actually used on several famous records back in the 60s. And it was actually used by artists such as the Zombies, Pink Floyd, and the Beatles. And it was actually used on the White Album and the Magical Mystery Tour Beatles records. So that's pretty awesome. So what makes this piano interesting is that it actually has brass tip felt strips that can be dropped between the hammers and strings. So this emulates the sound of a Tack piano. So kind of how I would describe this is, if you guys remember the movie Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., you kind of remember that piano part that's kind of playing in the background, the Venturous piano. It's almost like the Cymbalum one that came out by Spitfire Audio. So if you guys never heard of that Originals plugin, check out my video popping up in the top right corner after this one. But it's kind of got a similar sound to that. And then the other sound it creates is just kind of more of a mellow sounding piano. So in this video, I wrote a piece for each of the two different types of pianos that exist in this plugin, so you guys can get a good idea if this is something that you guys want to get and if you guys like it or not. So before we get into the listening portion of this video, I do want to go over the user interface. It's very similar to the other Originals ones, so if you guys have seen my other videos, you could probably pass over that. But for you guys that are new to the Spitfire Originals plugins, you should probably check this out. All right, so let's get into that now. All right, so this is the Originals Jangle Box piano user interface here. So we'll start with this fader here. This is essentially your volume fader. I always have this up at 100%. This here is your dynamics fader. And if you read across the bottom left here, it says that this will limit the lowest velocity playable, acting like a dynamic range compressor, okay? So if you turn this up higher, you're gonna get more definition. That's kind of the best way I describe it, all right? I just say play with that to get the sound that you like. This little rotary knob here has a little middle button here, and it gives you access to these four controls down here, which we'll talk about in a second. So the microphone section down here in the bottom left, this is actually where you can really define your sound. So for this particular preset, this one has the tacks in it, okay? So this close here is essentially your tacks. And this is made up of a pair of vintage U67 valve microphones. So that's, you know, if you guys are familiar with those microphones, you know they sound amazing. So that fader here will allow you to blend that into the sound. Now this room here, this is the warm acoustics of Abbey Road Studio 2, okay? So essentially this is just Omni mics picking up the space of Studio 2 that you can blend in. And then for vintage, this is the Classic 60s Abbey Road recording chain. Now extremely rare, the D19 microphone was placed above the strings in the middle of the piano and recorded using a red 47 and J37 tape machine. So for you guys that have Waves plugins, you guys are probably familiar with those tape machines at the bottom there, okay? So again, you can use these faders to create your own blend, or you can use presets at the top that have pre-blends for you. Going over to the right here, you got your reverb rotary knob here. You can just blend as much reverb in as you want. Tightness, This will essentially, as it says in the bottom left here, cut into the note, making it tighter or less tight. This is your piano hammers, basically how loud they're going to be. And then this is how loud you pressing the pedal will be. Okay, that's the sustain pedal. In the very top here, these are the presets that exist. You got 4 presets for the Tack's piano, and then you got 2 presets without them, and that's going to be your mellow sounding piano. All right, and that essentially is everything you need to know about the user interface. With that being said, let's get to the part of the video that you guys have been waiting for, the listening portion, and I will let you guys hear the 2 pieces that I wrote. So let's give it a listen and hear what this plugin can do. All right, so those are my 2 pieces. I hope you liked them, and if you did, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys liked this particular plugin, I have a link in the description below where you can go purchase it. And if you guys want to know more about Spitfire audio products, I have a link popping up in the top right corner to my Spitfire audio playlist. So definitely check that out after this video. All right, so if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe because I love making this content for you, and hit that notification bell to know how many videos coming out. So with that being said, until the next video, I will see you guys later, and peace out.